With the Super Bowl being yesterday, the season is now officially over. So let's get ready for some free agency with a Mythbuster about one of the biggest free agent myths we have ever had in the history of this team. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, episode 2 of the Miami Dolphin Mythbusters, and you guys seem to have really liked it. So, episode 2, if you could tell by the title, and like I said in the intro, the season is now officially over. I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl real quick before we jump into the actual video, but the Super Bowl happened yesterday. Season is now officially over. We're getting ready for free agency, which starts March 17th, I think. It's either the 14th or the 17th. I don't remember exactly which day it is. So I thought, why not have today's episode be about the biggest miss the Miami Dolphins had? And the myth is, did the Dolphins pass on Brees because of the shoulder injury, or was there something else? So I'm going to confirm or bust that the shoulder injury is why the Dolphins moved on Drew Brees. So that's the myth for today. But like I said, I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl real quick. Also, check out patchvibes.com. Use the promo code DDW. You get yourself 20% off. I'm telling you, grandtastic. It's grand and it's fantastic. It's grandtastic stuff over there. Be sure to check it out over there. But yes, yesterday, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, but, you know, Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl. Got another ring on his finger. Tampa Bay Buccaneers win 31-9. Absolutely horrid Super Bowl. And I say that in the aspect of not because Tom Brady won and I'm not a fan of Tom Brady, but because I like games that are back and forth. I like a good contest. I don't like a one-sided butt whooping. And yesterday was just a one-sided butt whooping. Now, there was a few penalties called that were BS, you know, the holding and the PI and stuff, but that did not dictate the game, nor did that, you know, dictate who won the game. What dictate who won the game was the absolute poor offensive line play by the Kansas City Chiefs and the absolute dominance of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. That's what won the game. Yes, Tom Brady threw a couple touchdowns. Gronkowski had a couple touchdowns. But the way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense shut down that Chiefs offense was just the reason they won that game. It was the Bucs Raiders game all over again, where the Bucs just completely manhandled them. I felt bad for Patrick Mahomes. The kid was trying to do everything he could, running around like a chicken with his head cut off. That offensive line played putrid. At some points, they were only sending 3 at Patrick Mahomes, and he was getting consistent pressure off the edges with the injuries to their tackles. He was the one who's converting third downs on his legs. He was making throws while falling down. The loss is not on Patrick Mahomes. That loss is on the offensive line, on their defense. It was a bad game. And the Buccaneers win. Tom Brady gets another Super Bowl ring, this time without the New England Patriots. Everyone keeps talking about GOAT, GOAT, GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. I'm not going to sound like a hater here, but I do still stick by my standing of he's the greatest of his decade. Since 2000 now, for the past 21 years, he is the greatest quarterback to play this game, period. But go past that, I don't know how he would fare in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. To say of all time, like I said, I just don't think so. But of the past 21 years, hands down, Tom Brady is the greatest. And to think he isn't is just, no. So I agree, greatest of the past 21 years of all time. But you could say I'm being biased. But that's my thoughts on the Super Bowl. Let's talk about this myth that the Miami Dolphins passed on Drew Brees because of the medical. Now, let's a little backstory. Right? I'm going to talk about the draft. Why do you talk about the draft? Well, that's because the Miami Dolphins passed on Drew Brees not just in free agency in 2006, but also in the draft. The Dolphins and Spielman, who was the Dolphins GM back then, were talking about, well, Damon Huard is not going to be on the team anymore. Jay Fiedler played decent. He had 14 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. So they needed to bring in a quarterback. And what he said, Spielman said this himself, they had 3 scouts specifically looking at Drew Brees out of Purdue's tape, every single one of his snaps. So you would think, hey, the Dolphins are probably going to take Drew Brees. The Dolphins, you know, I think they were sitting at, what, 25, 26. They're going to take him. Drew Brees fell all the way to him. They ended up taking Jamar Fletcher, and Drew Brees goes to the Chargers. So what happened there, right? What happened there? And something happened there. Something happened between the film breakdown and, him getting taken. But you also have to remember, and you also have to go back and look. He had a horrible first 3 years in the NFL, Drew Brees did. It wasn't until year 4 that all of a sudden it clicked for him and he started playing real good football. Could say that about somebody else that everyone wants to jump conclusions to. I'm just kidding. I had to do it. I'm sorry. I just had to do it. But again, had a horrible first 3 years. So the Dolphins are sitting back. Hey, we took Jamar Fletcher. Look at Drew Brees. He's playing horrible for the first 3 years. Maybe we made the right choice, right? Fast forward, 2005. Drew Brees goes 9-7, 64.6 completion percentage, 3,576 yards, 24 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, but completely destroys his shoulder. Almost partially tears his rotary cuff. Had to have arthroscopic surgery just to destroy his shoulder, right? The Chargers offer Drew Brees a contract. They want to keep him. They give him a 5-year, $50 million contract loaded with incentives because they were scared of the shoulder. They were scared of the injury, and they were scared of him not being able to play at his full capacity. He says, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go test the free agent market. 2 teams were the most excited to pick up Drew Brees. That is the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints, who just got hit by Hurricane Katrina, and we're talking about moving the stadium and moving where they played because of how bad Hurricane Katrina decimated Louisiana. So he goes and meets with the New Orleans Saints, and the New Orleans Saints offer him a 5-year, $80 million guaranteed first year, $10 million option in the second year, 5-year contract. He leaves there. And Nick Saban, being Nick Saban, he goes, flies out, has dinner with Drew Brees. Nick Saban and his wife go out, and they fall in love. Nick Saban falls in love with Drew Brees. He wants Drew Brees to be the Miami Dolphins quarterback. So the Miami Dolphins he leaves New Orleans without signing the contract. He goes to Miami. He has another dinner with them, and then the next day he goes through a 6-hour physical, and they test the crap out of that shoulder. Kind of ifs Drew Brees. This is one, I've heard multiple stories. This is one story. I'll talk about the other story. Ifs Drew Brees. He doesn't like it. He ends up signing with the Saints, and the Miami Dolphins trade a 2nd-round pick for Daunte Culpepper. Let's do a little bit more back. Looking at the research, Daunte Culpepper played 7 games in 2005 after completely shredding his knee against the Carolina Panthers. His right knee, he tears his ACL, his MCL, and his PCL, destroys his knee. But in that season, after going 2-5 after 7 games, he has a 64.4 completion percentage, 1,564 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Disgusting. Not good. But if you look at 2004, 69.2 completion percentage, 4,717 yards, 39 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That's sexier than what happened in 2005. So the Miami Dolphins trade a 2nd-round pick to the Vikings, and they get Daunte Culpepper. And then Daunte Culpepper ends up sucking. Drew Brees ends up winning Super Bowls, and the rest is history. But there's also another story. There's a story out there where Drew Brees was waiting to get a better contract offer from the Saints. Dolphins offered him a contract. He wasn't accepting it quite yet, and they waited, and the Dolphins are waiting and waiting, and they're like, Drew, what are you doing? Are you coming with us? You going waiting? And then they said, screw it, we're not waiting anymore, and they traded for Daunte Culpepper, and Drew Brees ended up taking the contract with the Saints. So, again, this being the Mythbusters, the Miami Dolphin Mythbusters, which is it true that Miami Dolphins chose Daunte Culpepper over Drew Brees because of the medical? And this is confirmed. Yes, the Miami Dolphins ended up choosing Daunte Culpepper because of the medical. And why am I saying this is confirmed, and how do I know this is confirmed? Nick Saban has come out and said that, yes, it was because of the medical on his shoulder and the unease of the arthroscopic surgery and the partial tear in the shoulder, that they scared him away, especially being that it was his throwing arm. So they were nervous of that. Also, that other story where they were waiting on him didn't have a lot backing to it, whereas the one where they brought him in, they had a 6-hour physical on him, focusing on the shoulder and all that stuff, was backed by multiple sources. So yes, this one is confirmed. The Miami Dolphins chose Dante Culpepper over Drew Brees because of the medical. They felt more comfortable going with a quarterback who had a completely restricted knee versus a quarterback who had the bad shoulder. Obviously, now we're looking at it. You're like, you got to take Drew Brees. We would have won a Super Bowl at least. Nick Saban would still be the head coach. All of these what ifs, ands, or buts. But looking at it then, if you didn't know what happened now, and you go back to 2006 offseason and you say to yourself, do you want the quarterback with the reconstructed shoulder, or do you want the quarterback with the reconstructed knee? I'd say 8 out of 10 people would say, give me the guy with the knee versus the shoulder. But obviously, we all know how that ended up. But that is confirmed. Yes, we did pass. Be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Do you agree with me? Do you like the findings? Also, you guys have been killing it by commenting below and letting me know different myths you want me to bust. I have like about 12 or 13 of them. Keep commenting them. And if they are a myth, not like, hey, Doug, should the Dolphins do this? It has to be a myth. It has to be something that's out there that's not true nor false. We need to find out what's going on. Comment it below. The next myth I got is going to also surround itself around free agency, because we are now at that point in the season where I'm going to start talking about free agency. I'm going to start doing my free agent videos. A lot of you guys ask, hey, what about the mock drafts? That doesn't happen until after free agency because a lot can change. So be patient with that. The draft stuff is months of stuff that I work on. So that will happen. But now we're in the free agent. So be sure to comment below, and I'm going to get you guys comment of the day. This comment comes from Tyler, and Tyler says, do you think X-Man, Xavier Howard, will be a consistent star? Is this just a one-off season? Love the content as always. Hope everything goes well. Thank you, Tyler. I do think he'll be a consistent star, and the reason why I think that and kind of know that is because this is the first time we've seen him consistently get interceptions and consistently be consistent. His biggest thing is his injury bug, right? If you look at all the seasons where he doesn't have 7 interceptions, 10 interceptions, he doesn't have these consistent picks and consistently messing with the quarterbacks, it's because of injuries. Whether his knee, whether his ankle, it's always because of the injuries. But when he stays healthy, and when the man is on the field, he is elite. He is dangerous. He is top-notch great. So, yes, I do think this is a consistent thing, because him having 10 interceptions isn't something new, to me anyway, because I honestly think if he turned it up when he had 7 interceptions, he would have had another 10, and he'd probably be one of the first corners to have multiple 10 interception years. So, yes, I do think this is him being more consistent. It's just the whole health situation needs to – it's the same thing with Devontae Parker and Preston Williams. If they just stay healthy, they can be great. And I said that about Xavier Howard. I said that in this offseason. If Xavier Howard can stay healthy and stay on the field, he's going to be great, and he is. I said the same thing about Devontae Parker, and he was. It's just health is a big thing, and you just got to stay healthy, and you can show people what you can do. But thank you so much, Tyler, for the comment. Like I said before, be sure to comment below if you have any other myths you want me to bust or anything else, how you feel about it, how you feel about the channel, the videos, everything. Just comment it below. Be sure to check out Miami Sports Music. Fantastic website, fantastic YouTube channel. Be sure, me and TD teaming up with them. Be sure to go over, check it out. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Next video, I'm talking about free agents. I'm going to be talking about who the Dolphins should re-sign and who the Dolphins are going to cut to save cap space. That's the next video. But other than that, I'll see you guys probably Wednesday in the next video. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.